in terms of the partnerships and the power in partnerships that we want to create for the success of our businesses, we're generally doing that for collaboration and for growth. And the most important thing that we need to remember when we are looking to form partnerships is that people, I've used the expression buy, they buy the solution that we provide for them or the pain that we relieve for them. So I run a business helping small businesses. But if I'm being really honest, people don't really care about what I do. What they care about is what I can do for them. So the reason they may want me to help their small business will be because they think I have experience of running small businesses that they do not have and they can learn from me. They think that I will look at their business in a different way to them, and I will be able to see ways to grow their business that they may not be able to see because they have got too close to it. So ultimately, whilst the purpose of my business is to work with the founders of small businesses, what people are really buying from me is how my experience of running small businesses can benefit them. And it's something that all of us need to remember when we're starting to look at the partnerships we want to form that we think will help grow our business. We have to look at it from almost the other side of the table, from the other person's point of view, and ask ourselves, what solution can I provide for this person if I work in partnership with them? How can I make life easier for them? What pain can I relieve for them if I want them to collaborate with me? I'm going to keep repeating this throughout this session. People buy the solution we provide or the pain that we relieve for them. And it's really key to ensuring our business success that we think about what value we bring to other people. There's three key things I want to go through in the next 25 minutes or so. I want to help you understand what makes for a great business partnership. We're going to talk a little bit about where you could find aligned partners, people who you have something in common with. And then we're going to take a look at a couple of practical steps that you can try out for yourselves to build relationships. So, why do relationships matter? People do business with other people who they know, like, and trust. If you have met somebody for the first time and they ask you to do business with them, they ask you to collaborate with them, it's more likely that you will want to meet them on a second or third or fourth or fifth occasion as well, so that you can find out more about them. If you know people who know, though, if you have people in common, it's extremely likely that you will call those people and say, what do you know about Sarah Springford from the Brighton Chamber? Tell me what you know about her, because I'm thinking of doing some business with her and I want to know if she's trustworthy. I want to know if she's somebody who I can rely on. Small businesses in particular do best, they thrive on the connections that we can build. And we're going to look in a little bit more detail at where we may find those connections in a moment. But the important thing for you to take away from this is that 65% of our new business generally comes from referrals. And referrals are 2 to 4 times more likely to convert into sales than if you are starting cold. So if you use LinkedIn for your business, if you send somebody a message saying, "Hi, I'm Sandra Murphy, I'd really like to help your small business." If I can say, "Katiba knows me and he recommended that I speak to you because he thinks I can help you," the person who I'm contacting is more likely to respond to me. They are already starting to know, like, and trust me because somebody who they respect, somebody who has credibility in their world, is saying, "I'm a good person to work with. I'm a safe person to work with." If you're working online, if your business is an e-commerce business, think about the way in which branding and marketing helps us to build trust in online brands. As we watch the change in the high street from people going to shops and now shopping online, think about the way in which people like Deliveroo, Uber Eats, Uber all work hard in their marketing messaging to build trust, to build familiarity. We know that if we find a brand that we know, like, and trust, we are more likely to stay with it. We are more likely to recommend it to our friends and to our families. And so, even if your business is an online business, you need to think about how you can build online trust. And we normally do this through things like Google reviews, testimonials from people who have worked with us, worked for us, collaborated with us. This is why we see so many recommendations, testimonials, people asking us for Google reviews if we buy anything online from them. So think about how you can use that build up of credibility in your own business. And what makes a great partnership? First and foremost, it's about trust and respect. If I work with somebody and they let me down, it's really unlikely I will work with them again. If they don't say that if they don't do what they say they are going to do, it's very unlikely I would refer them to somebody else. In my business, I have a lot of what I call strategic partners, and I'm going to talk about those a little bit more in the future. So they are people who I recommend to my clients. It might be networking organisations like the Brighton Chamber, it might be a marketing agency, it might be an accountant, it might be a lawyer. They take my reputation with them. So they have to be people who I trust and respect. And if my clients give me bad feedback about the person I have recommended to them, I will have to revisit whether or not I can continue working with them, because that looks bad on me. And I don't want that to look bad on me. I want it to, I want the people I refer to my clients to do a good job for me. So I seek out people who have shared values about what's important. Customer service is really important to me. Honesty is really important to me. And I seek out people who I know share those values. I also look for people who work to the same audience, the same target market as me. I will only work with small and micro businesses. I don't work with large organisations or corporations. I don't understand how they work properly, and they take too long to make decisions, and I'm too impatient, so I don't want to work with them. But I'm very clear about my target market, micro and small businesses. And I will look for partners that I can work with who also work with small businesses, because we understand the challenges that they face. So when you are looking for your partners, take a little bit of time to think about what are the most important things to you in running your business? What are the values that you hold really dear? Very often I will hear people say, if with my supply chain, I need to know if I order something from them that it will arrive. If they can't deliver on the date they say they can deliver, I want them to tell me that, rather than pretend that they can and then let me down, because that reflects badly on me. So we're looking at clear, honest communication. You need to make a list for yourselves, or give some time to think for yourselves about what are the values that are most important to you. And then you need to look at how you can be a credible partner, how you can prove that to people who you would like to work with, but equally, how you will ask them to prove their credibility to you. It may be that you will talk to people you have in common. It may be that you will talk to existing clients of theirs or other people who they are in partnership with. But you need to think about how you establish that trust and that respect that is going to make for a successful partnership going forward. Finding the right partners. This is a really, really interesting one. Our partners are everywhere. They are all around us, and sometimes we don't know that. Um, they may be the people who are part of our supply line. Our suppliers, if we're working in a manufacturing or a product-based business, our suppliers, it's to their benefit that we succeed. The more successful we are, the more we will buy from them, the more successful they will be. So they have a very good reason for helping us to become successful. Equally, we want to make sure that we look after them. If you are a small business, you will understand that if people pay you late, it's a problem. If your suppliers are small businesses, pay them on time and they will love you forever. Then when you call them and say, I need a favour, I need a quick delivery, I need a couple of weeks, I've got a short-term cash flow problem, I need a couple of weeks to pay that invoice, they will trust you. Our customers, obviously they're partners, but we don't want to look on them just as people who we sell something to. We need to be clear that they are people who we are, and I'm going to say it again, who we are providing a solution for, or providing some form of relief from a painful problem that they are looking to resolve. They are also great referral partners for us. If my clients are happy with the work that I do for them and they are talking to another owner of a small business who is having problems, they will say, you should talk to Sandra, she really helped me. Somebody's just sent me in the last week or so a really beautiful testimonial that I have to put on LinkedIn because it's great, and I've got to make sure that everybody knows how much that person appreciated working with me. It provides credibility, third-party endorsement. The people who we work with, who are working for us, our employees, we should be looking on them as partners. They should have investment in what we do. We want them to feel part of our team. We want them to feel part of our success. I don't know whether or not you are local, but in Hove, near where I live, there is an independent clothes shop. It's really hard to make a success in retail at the moment, but this particular clothes shop, which is called Velvet, every time I go in there, I am so impressed with how well trained the team of people who work there are. They all respond in the same way. They will all go out of their way to help you. They all make you feel that you're a really valued customer going in there. And they are a walking advertisement for the lady who runs that shop. She puts a lot of time and effort into her employees, and it shows. We can also have what I call strategic partners. So, as I said, my clients will say to me, I need a new accountant. Can you refer somebody to me? I've got a problem with a member of staff. Can you put me in touch with a good HR advisor? I need some help with my marketing. Can you put me in touch with a good marketing agency? All of those people help my clients achieve their strategic objectives. So I call them my strategic partners, the people who can help me do my job better. And you will need to look in your world for the people who can help you do your job better. But you then need to ask yourself, what value do I bring to them? So I know that the accountants who I work with, I know that I can bring business to them, but equally, I expect at some point in the future that they will do the same for me. I don't have an expectation that it's going to happen immediately, but I have an expectation that at some point in the future it will happen. And that will be something that I will have shared with them. I will have had a conversation with my strategic partner about my goal to support their business, but also for them to support me where they can. If I'm talking to somebody who makes it very clear to me that they will not be looking to put business back towards me, I would probably reconsider why I would want to work with them, whether or not that's a partnership. A partnership needs to be a two-way process. We both give, we both take, we do it in equal measure in an ideal world. And in terms of finding our right partners, we might do that online. We might do that through in-person networks, and we're going to have a little bit of a look at that one next. Networking, for me, has been crucial in the success of my business. I have gone out and talked to so many people. I remember I set up my business in November 2016. And one of the first networking events that I went to was a Brighton Chamber event. Once a year, they run something that they call the Brighton Summit. It's a bit like a conference. It's brilliant. It's a really great day. Lots of amazing people, lots of amazing speakers. And the first time I went to it was in November 2016 when I was setting up my business, and I went there to do market research. I went to ask business people in Brighton whether or not they would buy a business support service, whether or not they would engage with somebody to help them grow their business, what they would look for in that sort of service, and how much they would be prepared to pay. I knew out of, I think it was relatively small back in those days. There was, excuse me, there was probably about 150 people in the room, and I knew 3 of them. So I had to talk to complete strangers. Now, when I go to the Brighton Chamber event, I know lots and lots of people, and they know me. We all know, like, and trust one another, but we have built those relationships over the last 9 years. There are numerous networking events. Some of them are city specific, like the Brighton Chamber. Some of them are sector specific, like Silicon Brighton, which is for the tech industries in the town. Some of them are gender specific, like the Ladies Lunch Club and the City Girl Network. Only the one at the bottom is online networking. All of the rest are in person. You can find networking groups of different value, different price, different location, different sector. You need to research it to find the ones that will work for you. And then when you go to them, you have to expect to offer value first and expect to receive value later. Expect to give before you get back. But trust me, if you do that, if you are prepared to give, if you go to networking thinking, what can I do for the people here around me? What solution can I provide for them? What pain can I relieve for them? You will find that it will come back to you. Keep it simple, keep it personal. Most networking events that you go to, people will wear name badges. If you can remember names, that's great. If you can't, try and get a look at their name badge before if you have met them before, or ask somebody who knows lots of other people in the room if they know who that person is. But explain to them what your business is, how you think you can provide value to them, and ask them whether or not that would be of interest to them. If it's not, don't take it personally. It might just be that for whatever reason, you're not quite the right fit. So be prepared for people to say no, not at the moment, but also then ask them if they know people who would be a good collaborator or partner for you. We need to build relationships, we need to nurture relationships. And to do that successfully, I'll say this again, we need to understand what is important to them. And we need to check with them regularly to see if this has changed. This applies to our clients. Do they still want the product or service that we are selling to them, or have their needs changed? If so, are we keeping up with market demand? It's the same with our strategic partners. It's the same with our suppliers. Strategic partners is very interesting for me at the moment because of technology and the rate at which it is changing. I cannot keep up with the changes in technology. I cannot keep myself up to date with what is happening with AI. It's really important that I have within my network people who can do that for me. Be consistent with what you can offer. Be clear about what it is that you offer and how you can help them. When things go well, thank them, celebrate it, meet them for a coffee, and avoid vague expectations. Well, I'd quite like to do something with you, but I'm not really sure what I can do. So, let's just see what happens. Be specific about it. And then finally, start small and test things out. See what works. Talk to people about what it is that you think you can do. And if that isn't landing well, ask them what would be of help to them and then revisit that. Be upfront about the expectations that you have, that you would like to be able to help them, but you hope they will be able to help you in the future. Keep agreements simple. Sometimes when you are entering into partnerships with people, whether that is clients, suppliers, or strategic partners, there will be some sort of formal agreement that they may want you to get involved in. Try and keep it as simple as you can. Personally, if somebody asks me to sign a partnership agreement, I won't. I will simply say to them, if you are right for my clients, if you are right for my network, I will refer you. But I'm not going to get tied into something that is complicated or commits me to giving more leads to you than I would be comfortable. So don't force the fit, trust the match. Give it time and see what you can learn from. I'd like all of you to think about a person or a business that you would like to partner with. I'd like you to think about how you might connect with them. And I'd like you to think about what you can offer them. And then finally, I'd like you to think about what a win-win situation would look like for you. So a win-win, it's simply where the person who we are partnering with gains value or gains benefit, but we are as well. So it may be that I am referring business to, I don't know, let's say a marketing agency. They may not give me a direct lead back, but if they are successful for my client, my reputation will improve. So it doesn't have to be about referrals. It doesn't have to be about an exchange of clients. There could be other non-tangibles, such as your reputation, managing risk, how you are perceived in the marketplace, that's relevant instead. And so finally, I'd like you to think about one action that you can take this week. It's only Monday. You've got another 4 days to think about this and to complete it by Friday. So maybe think about who you would like to connect with and follow up. How are you going to do that? LinkedIn is the most widely used business platform. There are other ways of making connections. It could be email, it could be a phone call, it could be meeting somebody for coffee. But LinkedIn it's a good place to start reaching out to people and building your partnerships and your connections. Share your contact information, share resources that you can with people. I said at the beginning of this session, I'm really happy to share these slides with you. I don't worry about people taking something that I have written and they're using it for themselves, because I think if it provides value to them, good luck to them. On the end of the bottom of each page, I have put my name, my telephone number, and my email address. I try to make it as easy as possible for people to get in touch with me if they need to, or to share my details if they would like to. So, have you got a LinkedIn profile? Does it have contact information on it? Does your website have contact information on it? With there is a lot of good things about automation and about AI, but there is a great criticism that we're all talking to bots, to chatbots. If you're using chatbots on your website, at what point does the human intervene? How lifelike are they? How comfortable will your audience feel about using automated responses and receiving an automated response? So look at the resources that are available for you. Look at the way in which you want to form your partnerships, and go for it. But by the end of this week, I want everybody to have reached out to one person that they are thinking about now, or a business they are thinking about now, and seen how they can bring something of value that would help to form a partnership with that person. So I'm very happy to stay here and answer any questions that anybody may have. I think we will probably stop recording at this point, so that if there are any more personal questions that you want to ask, this is not going out on YouTube. I think Kataiba will stop the recording shortly. So are there any questions that anybody has?